Hello everybody, it's Serafina and I'm here with your daily tarot insight. So before we begin, let's take a moment to call upon the spirit of the universe that loves us unconditionally. I would like to call upon the spirits of this land, of this island, and of this ocean, and I thank them for holding the space and for their ancient wisdom. And I would like to call upon my guides, my ancestors, my team of light, my archangels, and my higher self. And I thank them for their presence with this collective reading. Okay, so the lunar eclipse in Scorpio is happening on Sunday or Monday, depending where you are. However, we're already feeling the ripening of that full moon. It's already happening. And Scorpio, as I've mentioned before, doesn't have the best reputation. However, what it means at a deeper level is merging. So if we think about Scorpio, it is a sign that it's a water sign. And according to ancient astrology, it is ruled by Mars. So Mars, the planet, has two signs. It has Aries, which is fiery. It's a cardinal sign and it's more masculine, more yang. And then the other sign that it rules is Scorpio. And Scorpio is water, which means that it has more of a feminine nature. So I've always found this particular combination of Mars, which is very fiery, dynamic, kind of like the warrior and the will, to have a house like Scorpio. Because Scorpio, it's all about, I've even seen it like penetration almost. If you think about water, and Scorpio is a fixed sign, think about fixed water. What does fixed water look like? What I saw in meditation was like a fire hose or like a water pick. Water has this amazing ability to be adaptable and malleable, but once the water is constant, it can really corrode and it can get to the depths of something. And if you even think about the animal, the scorpion, the scorpion can, it's a small insect, but its bite is deathly. It can be really, really excruciating, painful, and it can also kill anybody. So, but it's at the same time, it's like this animal that we could just stomp on, right? It has its own vulnerabilities. So, and if you think about where they like to live in the trenches and in the rocks, right? And they can get down into these dark places that maybe other animals can't get to. So there's medicine there too. There's medicine in the scorpion as well. And I feel that that's ability to penetrate, to go deep. Okay, let's see what the tarot has for us today. So, beloved spirit of the universe, what loving guidance is there for the collective today? What loving guidance is there for the collective today? Oh, we have the card, the Four of Wands with completion. Whoa. Second card coming out is the Wheel of Fortune. What further guidance is there for the collective? We have the Princess of Swords. What further guidance is there for the collective today? One more time. Whoa. Okay, and we have the Star. I feel like picking one more. What further guidance is there for the collective today? We got more than one, so I'm going to reshuffle. What further guidance is there for the collective today? Seems like this one wants to pop out. We have the Nine of Wands with strength. Okay. Now let's complement with this one. What further guidance is there for the collective today? What further guidance is there for the collective today? We have companionship. Giving someone your complete presence is an astonishing gift. Okay. What other oracle can we use today? Well, oh yeah, I wanted to use this one, which is one that I got, which is a goddess deck. And the reason why I wanted to use this one is because I feel that when we're moving through such intense energies, it's nice to be able to have archetypes to relate to. And there are lots of female and male archetypes that can relate to these more darker or denser energies, right? So, beloved goddesses, who has a message for the collective today? Who has a message for the collective today? Whoop. I'm gonna do it again. Beloved goddesses, who has a message for the collective today? We have Pele. And it says, Pele is a fiery Hawaiian volcano goddess. The daughter of the earth goddess Haimea, Pele came to Hawaii on a boat. Killed in a fight with her sister, the ocean, she took refuge in the glowing cauldron of Mount Kilauea, where she receives the souls of the dead and regenerates them with fire. Its tempestuous relationship with Kamapua, the ferocious pig god, she is portrayed as a jealous goddess, her rages manifesting as volcanic eruptions. Revered by the Hawaiians even today, she carries the force of the volcano with a molten lava flow. Pele stands for the molten, fierce aspect of life that is unable to do anything halfway. She reminds us that even in the midst of fiery eruption, there is creation and new life. So this makes me think of Pluto, which is the modern ruler of Scorpio according to modern astrology. You know what? And I'm even feeling like picking one more goddess card. What further guidance is there for the collective today? Whoa. Eve. The word Eve means life. The goddess Eve is the mother and nurturer of all life. She is the creator of the world and of all beings, lady of the beasts and steward of all growing things. Eve is the embodiment of primal female creative energy, of the powerful urge to create and sustain life. She is the active femininity and relatedness to all that lives. She is life itself. So both cards are talking to us about life, and life coming from the depths of destruction, and Eve, which we know, well, lots of us know about Eve, you know, in the garden. So let's just get into the tarot. We're starting off with the Four of Wands. And the Four of Wands comes as a time of celebration, a time that we have achieved something. And in this particular deck, I really like it because it has Venus in Aries, which is what we have right now, what's going on right now astrologically. But most of all, when this card comes up, it tells me that literally something has come to completion. There is a cycle that is closing up. There's something that's worth mentioning or honoring in our life. So when this card comes up in a reading, for me it says, okay, we have completed something. Whether we are aware of it or not, like it's like, there's a saying in Spanish where they say like, this rice has been cooked already. It's done, it's over. Funnily enough, do you notice the two circles on these cards, right? So there's definitely a lot of mention of cycles. And this is the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune comes to it's a positive omen. It's a positive omen of karmic cycles completing itself, but not only completing themselves, but they keep on continue. They keep on going on, and it's the entropic force of life. And it's also the number 10. So that also says like, okay, we've reached a new cycle. Then we have the Princess of Swords. The Princess of Swords, I read about this particular card of this deck, and as we see, she has debris here, and she's fighting through everything that's coming her way. And so it kind of speaks of a little ego death. And the swords represent like mental spheres, right? So the Princess of Swords comes to indicate a time of adversity, but we are able to cut through the shadows of ego, the shadows of how we perceived ourselves to be. And it could be through words of communicating, it could be through written things, or it could just having a new perception towards ourselves, right? But in general, the Page of Swords usually comes to indicate like when we're still learning how to use a sword. So some of us could have new abilities or tools in our toolboxes that we're still learning to use, but this is a positive omen. I would say that these are positive omens as well of things coming into completion and like the force just continuing, the spiral that's going to keep on going out. Why is this also positive? Because we have the card of the Star. The Star is, in my opinion, one of the most beautiful cards in the deck. And this particular depiction, I find it beautiful. The colors, the imagery, if we can see, we have like a cosmos here just radiating out, and she's receiving this cosmic influence. She's channeling it through, and there's a pool of water, but here it's like crystalline water. So this card comes as a card of hope. It comes of a card as healing. And as I've mentioned before, it's also us being more aware of stellar influences in our life. So yeah, it's like recognizing that we have all the planets and all the signs within us. You know, some of us just love to identify like, oh, I'm an Aries, I'm a Taurus, I'm this, I'm that. But the truth is that we are every single sign and every single planet, and they just play out differently within us. Like the variations of archetypes that play out are infinite. So this is a card of healing. This is a positive omen that new cosmic downloads are coming in. New ways of perceiving things are coming in. And then we're finishing off with the Nine of Wands, which says that we are almost at the end of a trajectory, but we have acquired a new inner strength. And if we notice, here is the symbol of Sagittarius, right? And funnily enough, Sagittarius is a sign that comes after Scorpio. So there is a natural progression in the signs of the astrological wheel. So if I were to look at this, I would say we've completed something. There's a task, there's a lesson. There's something that probably came up for us 2 weeks ago in the new moon solar eclipse in Taurus, which is coming. It's like a cycle. It's like a clock. It's coming and it's reached 12 o'clock now. It's done. It's finished. It's cooked. But now the larger cycle is going to start over again. And another thing I want to mention about the Scorpio lunation is to think back to November 2021, because that's when we had the new moon in Scorpio. So whatever intentions or whatever major themes were going on for you then are going to be like brought out to light right now, right? So we have this larger cycle that's going on, and in general, the Wheel of Fortune indicates positive transformation, positive things coming in, us continuing on our path. It's a sign of good fortune. Then we have the Page of Swords, which indicates communication. It indicates new paradigms. It indicates us fighting through the rubble of our past into the light with the strength that we have of our mental sphere, right? The strength. And healing. Healing. And another thing that I've mentioned about this card is that it is ruled by Aquarius, right? And Aquarius is all about us finding our individual place within the larger collective and allowing ourselves to be stars. And, you know, that's what I feel that, you know, this age of Aquarius that it's coming upon us is asking us all to be. There is enough darkness in this world, in this reality that we're living in, the 3D reality, for all of us to shine. And if you believe, and many of us have heard that we are all one, we are all one entity together. So how do we raise the consciousness of this one entity? It is by each of us becoming a star. So if there's enough darkness for all of us to rise up to our potential, to rise up to our own luminosity, that is us being humble and finding our place within the larger collective. So that is what this card tells me about. And so that's why it's about healing. And that's why it's recognizing our own individual power to be healers, to be artists, to be whatever it is that you came here to be, to help the upliftment of humanity. And we're finishing off with a card of strength. It says, we know it's not been easy. We know that you've been through a lot of things, but you have the inner strength to be able to get through it. You have the creative fire to be able to do it. Funnily enough, it's being clarified by the card of companionship. And if we see, there are 2 elephants. Giving someone your complete presence is an astonishing gift. And elephants are known as very, they're associated like with very feminine energies, and they're just very protective. They're also very, very emotional animals. If you feel compelled to look up on YouTube about elephants and how they even mourn when someone of their pack has died. So there's a lot of intelligence in these animals, but they're also the bringers of good fortune. And I can't help but think about Ganesha, who is an entity or a deity who I feel that has been with us a lot since this last lunation, helping us break through obstacles, helping us break through, the limitations of the mind, or anything that we're not even aware of, right? Bringing us protection. But ultimately, it's talking to us about companionship, which has been a reoccurring theme this last week in the cards. And so I can't help but think that, this completion of a cycle, us starting off a new cycle on the right track, still, continuing, persisting forward despite the talkings of our ego, despite fear and self-doubt and self-sabotage coming up for us. There's a lot of healing that's coming through, and we're going to be able to persist through with strength. And what does this all have to do about being present, about being present with ourselves, about being present with the ones who are around us. And what does that mean? It means ultimately to be in companionship. It means to be there day by day. To stop imposing so many expectations on what we want this relationship to fulfill for us, whether it be friendship or whatever. It means taking it day by day and just being grateful for the gift of their presence and knowing that the future is unwritten. And so the only thing that you can really gift someone genuinely is your presence and whatever gifts that you have for that interaction, right? And so let's not forget about these 2 beautiful goddesses, Pele and Eve. I feel that they're almost there's a duality that's happening here. We have Pele, they spoke of her as being a jealous goddess, a goddess that had so much passion and so much love ultimately that her emotions would come out like volcanoes, right? And it speaks that even though volcanoes can be destructive, there is life there as well. I come from a country where there's lots of volcanoes, and the soil is so fertile there because of the fact that some volcanoes are still erupting. And then we have Eve, right? The word Eve means life. So I feel that the guidance today, or what is coming up for this eclipse in Scorpio, is that there is this dual nature, but ultimately what there is binding it is life. And what gives life? Like, what is the function of us coming together with people, whether it be for friendship to eat or, in a romantic relationship? It is life. It is part of the dynamics of life. It's life exchanging itself. So overall, I say that given the fact that Scorpio can sometimes be dense and sometimes can be dark, and dark is not negative, right? Dark just means that we can't see things in like we normally do. It's not illuminated. It means that darker aspects of our psyche, darker aspects of ourself are going to be probably coming up to light. Secrets that other people are hiding from us, secrets that we are hiding from ourselves and our subconscious doesn't even know about. Despite that, I'm seeing very positive cards. I'm seeing wheels that are turning in our favor, completions. I see us working through things and the behavioral patterns. I see healing coming through and us rising to our true potential with lots of inner strength and a new perception, a new luminosity, a new way of seeing things. And it's all manifesting somehow with the companionship, and we have the protection and the messages of the elephants with these two beautiful goddesses, right? Pele and Eve. Beautiful. So to finish, I will pick a card from, I'm debating right now, that's why you're seeing me smile. I'm thinking either Isis or Ganesha, since I mentioned Ganesha. And I think I'm gonna go with Ganesha today. I think I'm gonna go with Ganesha. Let's see if I have the book here. Okay. Beloved Ganesha, what loving guidance do you have for the collective today? What loving guidance do you have for the collective today? Achievement, number 42. So let's read and see what it says. You are surrounded by abundance and prosperity, luxury and quality, prestige and sophistication, value and elegance. Many stories relate that Ganesha has two wives, Siddhi, which is success, and Riddhi, which is prosperity. The symbolism of these two women indicates that if you walk on the path set by Ganesha, success and prosperity are guaranteed to always be by your side. The search for material success seldom brings with it achievement of spiritual goals. Ganesha wishes you to realize that by actively developing your spirituality and consciously working with the divine, you will experience positive flow on effects of all areas of existence. When you stay connected to your spiritual nature, you have more serene mind. Develop an accepting perception of yourself. This attitude will help your heart open to spiritual matters. A high level of self-mastery coupled with a high ethical practice will increase the likelihood of enjoying material success. As more people discover the rewards of a more dynamic and fulfilling spiritual life, the success will become a norm in society and not an exception for a few eccentric individuals. The more relationships among human beings develop into true kinship, the more humanity can achieve beyond the present limits of knowledge and material measures of success. Become part of the brotherhood governed by love, working toward building a happier, more loving, and productive global society. The underlying message of this card is saying that there is achievement in sight, but I think that what it's trying to tell us is that achievement is not what we have been told it is. Sometimes we focus so much on the material, on how many people like our artwork, or how many clients we have, or any other thing, how much money we have, right? What doctorate degree we have. But it's saying that if our true intention behind what we are doing is to be of service or to cultivate our spiritual practices and align ourselves with divine will in that way, then success is imminent. And so it's kind of like we're not really chasing a carrot. It's more like we are refining and polishing our skills while always having the intention of being present and cultivating our relationship with the divine. Then when we mix those two together, then achievement becomes a whole other thing. And like that, we can have a brotherhood or a sisterhood or a human collective that is based on this love where we can all co-create together. So I think that that's a beautiful message to end off today's reading. So I would like to thank you all for your presence. If you like this video, I would ask you to please comment or share or subscribe to my channel. And I will be back here with more information on this lunation that's coming up this weekend. And if you would like to book a reading with me, you can always go to my personal website. Okay, see you. Bye.